everyone, welcome back to Lise Loves Paper. And we're here today with a giant mess. So first of all, I hope the holidays treated everybody well, and if it's not your favorite time of year, welcome to January. It's all over now. We had a bit of a doozy. We've been passing around some illnesses in my family from one person to the next and back to another person, and so on and so forth. So that's why it's been a little quiet over here. Also, a lot of stuff has been going on behind the scenes. I got a big giant easel for Christmas. That was one of my big gifts, and I'll put a quick video in here to show you. I'm just keeping it real. This is the current state of my craft room. So you can see that there have been a lot of changes. If you saw my craft room tour that I posted earlier in the year, you can tell it is pretty different in a lot of ways, but some way it's still the same in other ways. But I'm basically rearranging things to make stuff work better for me, hopefully, fingers crossed. And I do plan to film an updated craft tour once I get that done. If you are the kind of person who likes to watch people clean and tidy, let me know, and I can try and film some of those videos to take that dreadful mess that you just saw into a working craft room. I can do that as well. Just let me know. Or if you just want to see the final reveal, that is perfectly fine too. Just let me know. But we're here today to reorganize. So I will insert a video clip here also showing you what we're working on. So this is the drawer we're tackling today. It is for my scrap papers, and as you can see, I have not been keeping up with organizing papers as they come in, and it is a royal mess and not working. So that was my drawer that sits, it's like right over here behind me to my left, and it's where I keep my scrap papers. So not full 12 by 12 papers, things that I've cut into and so on and so forth. I also toss things in there that are kind of junk journal-y in the sense of like I'll put in some tissue paper, so it's not all just scrapbook paper. I put in paper bags in here somewhere. There's paper bags. I promise. Little glassine bags, things like that I will use. And if you caught my organizing videos in the past, you will see that what I had done in that drawer was I had these pockets. Actually, I have them. I can show. So I don't know if they make these anymore. I don't think they do, but it's a Stamp and Storage 8.5 by 11 paper sleeve. And then I also have their smaller ones too. I think these are 6 by 6. And I got them on scrapbook.com, but I'm pretty sure they don't have them anymore because they weren't there last time I looked. But I really like them because they're open on two sides. And for me, I know that any kind of storage that is closed, like if I had these in files, those plastic thin ones, that wouldn't work for me because any barrier to getting papers in and out and flipping through them is a big no-no for me. I've learned in just my process. So this is me. And I had the big papers in the big envelope, and then I kept the little tiny scraps in the smaller ones, and I just would tuck those in there. And that worked pretty well for me. It was easy to reach in there and grab, but what didn't end up working was I just kept tossing papers in, and I wasn't staying on top of putting things away. And so what that told me, I am a big proponent of if it's not working, figure out why and fix that so that we can eventually get to a system that really works for the way that you work as a person. Like I think that there are a lot of different organizers out there who tell you what kind of organizer you are. And I've seen one where they tell you if you're like a bee or a ladybug and butterfly and blah, blah, blah. And there's other systems, but basically it's like, how do you store things, and how do you like open storage? Do you like closed storage? Do you like things to be seen? If you can't see them, will you not use them? Yada, yada, yada. So all that boils down to, honestly, is just paying attention to yourself and paying attention to what's not working, and then sit there and think about why. So that's what I was doing here. I knew that this drawer was not working. Why was it not working for me? And it turns out that, well, this was easy for me to grab the colors and kind of flip through and find what I needed when I needed it, if I could get to them. Putting things away was kind of the bugaboo. I was just tossing stuff on top, and then I had too much stuff on top to put it away. So putting it away was my problem here. It's what was causing the issues. This was not easy enough for me to put away because everything was stacked on top of each other in the drawer, and it was not easy for me to put things where they went. So what I was thinking, then I was like, okay, how do I fix that? As you saw at the beginning, I am overhauling a lot of my craft room stuff. I have some new pieces of furniture and things are moving around. So I actually opened up some storage, some shelf space over there near my papers, where my big 12 by 12 papers are. So it would make sense to store my littler papers with those as well. And so that gave me the opportunity to use something that is vertical and open on the top, because then instead of just tossing things in a pile, I can very easily go to my pinks and put it in the file. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but off to the side here, I found these. These are fancy. You don't have to get fancy. I just like something that's pretty. I got these at Office Depot, and I like them because they're clear. I couldn't find any white that I really liked. So I went with the next best thing here, but they have white folders in them, which matters to me a lot. It comes with, I think, 6 folders. But what I'm going to do is basically, it's not a huge overhaul, but I am moving things and putting each folder in one of these hanging folders. So it's easy for me to flip to, it's easy for me to grab and still use the same way. I got 2 of them, and I realized off camera, I don't know if you can see. Here, let me show you. This white is not the same as this white, and it's really, really, really bothering me. But because I had to order this one, that means that my local one doesn't have any more, so I can't see them in person, and I don't want to gamble with like sending it back and reordering and getting the same. So what I'm just going to do is mix up both of these folders across them, 3 in each, and so hopefully it won't be as big a deal. That's what I tell myself. We'll see. But my plan is to keep the smaller ones, to corral the small bits and bobs in there, and I will find another use for these envelopes. But I'm going to stop talking to you and start organizing the rest of these papers into color categories. I'll probably put you on fast forward and add some music, but enjoy while I organize things. breaking in here to say there are some things that are not going in piles. I know I have moved you up as high as I can, and you still can't see everything, but there is a decision-making process going on here. So very often I will put things in that drawer as like a delayed decision-making process as well. Like there, you saw I had a ton of little branding strips. Nobody needs to keep tiny branding strips. Like seriously, who uses them? But I do occasionally if I just want a peek of color or something, like as a layer behind something. So I do use them. But I don't know if you noticed, but earlier there were several that I was like looking at them that I had saved, and I was like, I am never going to use these. I cannot imagine when I would use these. I have plenty else, so I'm going to recycle those. So I did that. There have been a couple of other things that you've seen me pull out that have been seasonal, and I put them to the side because it doesn't make sense to keep my seasonal scraps with my normal scraps. I'll keep them with my seasonal stuff. So I put those aside. And then I also, hang on, had a couple of things that were like cut apart sheets or something like that. And so I put them aside because I will get what I want embellishment wise out of them. With these, I save them because I just love these patterns. And so I was thinking, I put them in this drawer thinking that I would use these strips, and I will, but I was like, oh, what if I make teeny little tags out of them? So rather than just trying to cut them up now and put them in the right thing, I put them to the side so that I can cut these up and then cut the corners, go ahead and punch holes in them, and then I have teeny tags because these would be so cute for embellishments, don't you think? So not everything is going in one of these piles. I just wanted to pop in and let you know about the decision-making process that is happening. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, some of this stuff is really old. I clearly haven't done this in a very long time, and there are some things in here that, like, I have had this, I don't think Reminisce has been around for forever. So I've had these things, like this paper. I used it to do a project in our very first house before I even had my daughter, who is 11 and a half right now. So I've had this paper for a very long time. I think I must have cleaned out some bin somewhere, and the papers that I wanted to keep tossed in this drawer. So I think that's what happened. And it was kind of fun going through this excavation process. It's like, oh, I remember that project. Oh, I remember this project. As I go through these layers, it's like, I don't know, like a geologist digging or something. Anyway, almost done. Back to it. Okay, I am done sorting. I have unearthed my pockets, and so all that's left is to kind of sort things into their respective color things and put them in the binders. I am done. It's so rainbowy and pretty. Here we go. Let me scoot this out of the way. Maybe you can see how. So this is the way it's working, and remember, I do have the little folders in here. I will show you how it looks on my shelf after I redo the craft room. Only time will tell how this will actually work. I am not afraid to revisit this if I need to, if it's not working, but we'll try this and we'll see. Right now I'm really happy with it. I think it'll be great that I can just grab either a folder or grab the whole thing off the shelf and bring it over here and get what I need. But let me know what you think. Tell me if you have any great ideas on how to store your scrap papers. And have a wonderful day. I'll see you. Bye.